Do you have obstacles in meditation? Are there challenges that make it difficult to make it difficult to meditate? One of the main problems, the first problem, is called laziness. It just means you can't get your butt to the cushion. And that can be hard. So there are some pretty classical antidotes to this. There's a lot more antidotes that go over when you get more skill in meditation, when you get some stability and some samadhi, and how to deepen that and surf that in a very nuanced way. But the first thing is a really coarse problem, and it's called laziness. And the problem with laziness is not exactly that you're lazy per se. You let distractions take you away. You think, I'll meditate later and so forth. But the way to overcome this is, first of all, you want to get into practice pretty early. That's very helpful before you can get all involved in other aspects of your life. I find that very helpful. But the second is the classical antidotes of faith, exertion, mindfulness, and Shinjang. We'll go over what these four mean. Faith is not a blind faith, okay? It's a grounded faith. You've met people who you know are good meditators, and you've determined that it's helped them, it's benefited them. You can see it in the way they act, the way they relate to people. You can read the teachings of the Buddha, for example, or different great meditative sages, and you see how helpful they are. So that's a sense of faith. There's evidence-based faith. And the faith is not that it's true. You've seen the proof of that. So you have direct evidence. You have faith in yourself. You think, I can do this. And you have faith that it's meaningful. It's one of the most meaningful things you can do. So this provides a lot of inspiration. The second one is exertion. Now you overcome laziness just by fostering some discipline and some energy. You actually just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Best way to do exertion is to make a habit contract or something like that. If you've read the book on habit stacking, Atomic Habits, I think it's called, then a contract to fulfill what you're going to do and set a definite, clear goal. I talked about this in the last video. Do 100 sessions of shamatha at 30 minutes apiece, or start at 15 and do 25, and then go up to 20 minutes and do another 25, and then 25 minutes for the next 25, and then 30 minutes for the last 25, something like that. So you progressively build up and make a contract, at least with yourself, but preferably with someone else, and have there be some consequences to it. This is very helpful with developing exertion. But the exertion can also come from the faith. If you contemplate, wow, this is really meaningful. This can really benefit me. I can be a better person. I can be a happier person. And I can do something good and valuable in the world. The third one is mindfulness. So with mindfulness, you're learning how to put the object on the mind, on the object of meditation. So we need to keep coming back to it. We need to look forward to it. And we need to know how to do that and what that really means. So we're beginning to develop stability. This is, a lot has to do with being on the cushion and just bring your mind back again and again and again. The fourth one is called Shinjang. It means processed or thoroughly processed. It means your laziness has been cleared out. You sanded it away through these other techniques. So you want to get to this point of Shinjang so you do keep going to the cushion no matter what. You don't think, well, I had 3 or 4 bad sessions in a row. Maybe meditation isn't for me. If that thought arises, you don't worry about it. It just vanishes instantly. So Shinjang is processing the mind until it doesn't attach to small outcomes, to negative or bad. It just is stable and it wants to keep going. Good Shinjang is an almost cottony feeling of the mind. It's smooth, it's supple, it's stable. The mind does what you want it to do. So the advice here is to spend some time on each of these. Strengthen your faith by reading good meditative teachers and so forth, by going through some videos of people that you respect and that makes sense to you. Understand what meditation is. It's another aspect of faith, is knowing what the instructions are. That comes into play much more in the next obstacle, which is forgetting the instructions. But for now, you need to have a good idea of meditation, and then we'll refine that as it goes on. So after developing some faith, which is to say, this is meaningful, it's worth doing, and I can do it. That's kind of the essence of faith. Faith can go deeper and become more profound as it goes on. You can begin to feel things happening, changes in your being, and then it can be very exciting. It can feel good, blissful even. And that's a more profound level of faith. So after you develop this basic level of faith, work on some exertion and some mindfulness, right? Once you've got a good faith, and if it's hard in the beginning to sit, just show up for a minute. Make that your contract. 1 minute a day for 3 weeks. Just show up, and you'll probably sit longer. If you go in there for a minute, you're going to think, I may as well stay in here for 10 minutes. So that can be very, very helpful. And don't push yourself too hard. Try and quit while you're ahead. When it feels good, if it's feeling good that session, then gently stop the meditation in the middle of it. So this gradual improvement through these targeted efforts can allow you to address your obstacles more systematically. So meditation is not just about sitting quietly. It's not a passive process. That's a huge mistake that people make. It's a very active process of engaging with your mind. It is work. And at first the work is difficult. It's not very much fun. But once meditation kicks in, then it can become quite enjoyable. It becomes fascinating, inspiring, and has a lot going on. But it's a narrow gate, and it takes a lot of effort. The effort is worth it because it's a whole different world that's can't really be described. It's not physical objects, it's the mind. But you will make a relationship with your mind that you never had before if you haven't meditated. So by setting these clear goals and cultivating motivation, as in the last video, and addressing these obstacles methodically, and we're going to go into the more obstacles as you begin meditation, it's very easy to get to a place where you're meditating, feel like this is it, it's arrived. Well, you can deepen it from there. The deepening process of meditation goes on pretty much forever. But doing those things, you can build a very robust, strong, powerful, stable, peaceful, transformative practice. So stay tuned for the next section, because we're going to delve deeper in overcoming laziness through exertion and maintaining some momentum for your meditative journey.